Okay, we're going to get started. Good morning, everyone. Well, I just flip this to a present mode here. Really thrilled to be here again on this beautiful Thursday. I think it's quite sunny and warm for lots of people in different parts of the globe today. I'm just going to share my screen. And you let me know when you can see it. Should be good. All good on seeing the screen?
Yes.
Okay. And I just want to check and make sure that I'm recording this. Yep, all good. Okay, so technical problem solved, I think. So happy Thursday, everybody. As we are approaching a holiday weekend coming up, we thought it would be really great to touch on some points with regards to, again, we are at a time when we are at home and we are, I'm going to call it the staycation. We've been using lots of terms like self-isolation, social distancing, and we wanted to sort of ramp up the theme a little bit and talk about how we can really enjoy this time as a staycation. So I'm Joanne Mulhall, and on with this brilliant team of colleagues that I work with. I think probably together we've got decades of combined experience in coaching. I'm a certified health holistic nutritionist, and in 23 years of doing what I'm doing, I still am grateful for what I do and the people I connect with and the knowledge that I have, especially in a time like this when there's just a big cacophony of stuff going on around us right now. And we're just really trying to stay grounded, and we're trying to stay positive and stay proactive in the things that we can do to kind of have influence over our environment. If you didn't catch our last couple week Zoom calls, you can certainly go into the event, and we've put up the recordings for the events that we've done already. And of course, we're going to continue this through till, well, whenever, definitely through till the end of April, and maybe beyond if that's the way things are going. So as I said, we're dealing with the holiday weekend coming up, Passover for many, Easter weekend for many, or just typically in the work environment, this would just be a wonderful long weekend off of work. And wow, we're like on this permanent, long weekend right now. So we wanted to sort of touch on that and how that's going to feel. And also, typically this time of year, in our coaching group and in our wellness professional group, we're working with clients right now to usually talk to them about spring cleansing. And in our opinion, it's still a great thing to do, still a great task to take on. So we're going to talk a little bit about what that might look like and some reasons why we would want to actually do that. So, Lisa's going to be chatting a bit more about that. Coming up to this weekend, we're using the Zoom platform, and I'm sure everybody, if you didn't know about Zoom 3 weeks ago, you sure know about it now, or you know about House Party, or you figured out how to do FaceTime group calls and Messenger group messaging calls. There's all these amazing platforms that have been online for a long time. I've been using this platform for 3 or 4 years, but unless you're using it in your work environment, you may not be so familiar with it. Now everybody's familiar with it. And I encourage you all to reach out and use these particular platforms to connect with your family this weekend. And we've got a Zoom call booked for Sunday for my extended family, my siblings, my dad and my stepmom. We'll be doing one with my husband's family, and we did one with some overseas family last weekend. So there's lots of options to still stay connected. But as we're coming into this long weekend, we're just going to be the two of us. So we're not going to be doing the Easter Passover eating that we would normally be doing, which in some ways is a good thing. But in other regards, we're going to really miss that opportunity to do that. I know all of us, coaching and running these calls are going to feel that this weekend for sure, as well as everybody. So we really empathize. We all have big families, and being able to just maybe, share what you're making or do a virtual potluck, that might be an opportunity to, get together that way and still, prepare a special meal, make it special, use that as an opportunity to still set out any decorations that you have or put out the fine china. There's no reason why we still can't, even in just a duo or 3 or 4 people, still have a really nice celebration and simply sit in gratitude, even though this isn't Thanksgiving, but it's simply, being in gratitude for the fact that those of us who do have lots of ability to, stay safe, stay in a great environment, still connect with people that we love and care about, reach out to people who need help and be contributing in our community if we can, sending our thoughts and prayers out to people who are living in more hectic environments right now, certainly countries that are much more densely populated and together, and living in more apartment type dwellings where that might be more challenging, rather than, I'm very blessed. We're out in the middle of probably, I would say, countryside. We've got trails nearby. We live in a subdivision up here on the Sunshine Coast that's very, lots of space. So to get out and enjoy the fresh air and do all these amazing things is a great opportunity. So as I said, sometimes the best vacation is a staycation. And I think everybody's been really kind of looking at that, embracing it. Some people are working from home. I'm still working from home. All of us are still working from home or partly from home. Some people have stopped working altogether and they have no work because their work is outside of their home. And they're definitely, at a time when it's like, okay, what do I do now? And, so much has been out there, thankfully, on the internet about ideas and, promoting different ways of just putting in your time, using this time to really reflect and take that break, and maybe even the digital detox that often we keep talking about taking, but we kind of push to the side. I would have to say that I'm actually on my computer more right now, and I'm feeling I have to admit, feeling a little challenged with that, because I'd like to do the staycation. So over this weekend, I'm definitely going to try and stay off my devices and really treat it like a long weekend and get myself away from sort of the typical tasks that I'd be doing on my computer and on my phone. And also, this is, as I said, we'd be sort of typically talking about spring, and spring cleansing. I want to touch on that a little bit before I pass it over. Right now, we're seeing the warmer weather. The days are longer, thank goodness. I wake up in the morning at 6:30 and there's sunlight. I'm a happy person. It's the best way to start the day. The rain's subsiding more out here on the West Coast. And, definitely we've been focusing on spring cleaning and, because we have been home more, and we would typically be doing that right now anyway. So I think lots of people have been busy doing that. And also spring cleansing can happen not just in our homes and in our environment, but inside our internal bodies. And even though we're facing different schedules, different times, different routines, we know probably by now, this is week 3 or 4 for people, coming up to week 4 or 5, depending on where you are at. And, the reality of where we're at is really sinking in. And we maybe have been doing, I've seen some funny memes on Facebook this past week about, people putting stickers on their fridge, hey, you've already been here 3 times today, like, don't open this door. And, reminders about how often we're kind of doing I call it mindless versus mindful, where we're just kind of, oh, I'm a little bit bored, I'll go to the fridge, or I'll go to the cupboard and I'll grab something. Again, what are we grabbing? What are we, what are we drinking? So we're going to cover a lot of that today. And also just to use this as a time, maybe, after this long weekend where we are going to maybe kind of relax, kick back and try and really enjoy that it's a long weekend mentally, is next week to kind of take stock of where you're at, what's going on for you on a daily routine. Are there some tweaks that you can make? Probably. My husband and I started on Monday because we felt we were being a little bit kind of lackadaisical. So we set up a new routine based on the earlier morning light, when we could get our meditation in, when we'd get our walk in and try and start our day in a certain way, when we would schedule breaks in the afternoon, because we were kind of getting like making hay while the sun shines, as the expression goes. We had all this work going on and work. Well, we weren't properly taking enough breaks and getting up and going out and just stretching or walking around, sitting down, having a proper lunch, not eating at our desk, doing crazy things like that we were maybe doing even before. So we had to take stock of that, which we did this past week. And, again, how can we maybe look at, sort of the snack foods that we've stocked up on or different things, and how can we recalculate that and start to implement, yes, okay, I need a routine now. I need the healthier eating. I need the breaks. I need to make sure I'm only eating 3 meals and maybe 2 light snacks. If I'm not as active, and I'm just bored, can I check in with that first before I go thinking I am hungry, staying hydrated. So I know Jen's going to touch on that. And, just really using this as maybe another jump off point after this weekend to kind of do a little self check-in, a little bit of reevaluation on, where you're at and how you can make some improvements, because, the news was coming out yesterday, especially from our BC Health Minister, our Bonnie Henry, about, really like everybody needs to stay put this weekend. This is a critical time where they're going to be checking the numbers. And now they are talking, it might be going on for another several weeks. So we need to kind of embrace that reality and reframe it as a staycation, a little bit longer than we might normally have it. And just to really think about how we can, jumped ahead there, how we can do the little improvement things that we know we can do and that maybe we need to do right now, because we've had this first 3-4 weeks of, readjusting to what this new normal looks like, kind of flying by the seat of our pants in some regard. And probably this would be really beneficial to take some time and just be a really bit more mindful, methodical, and intentional about how we start moving into the rest of April and into May. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Lisa Massiag, a dear friend and colleague, also a holistic nutritionist. And she's going to get into a little bit more about this idea of not just spring cleaning your home, but spring cleaning our bodies and what that could look like.
Thanks, Joanne. It's so true. And I love that little picture of those 2 bunny rabbits looking through. You know what? It almost reminded me of them peering out through a glass pane, looking out into the world.
Which is what we're doing kind of right now.
Right? Does it kind of feel like, can we get out? Can we get out there? Yeah, so thank you for that. It's so true. We're all here together. We're all feeling all of the same kind of emotions as well around all this uncertainty. And I like the way of reframing things when we can kind of get into the slippery slope of, listening to the news and getting those fearful thoughts and what's going to happen and how are the people that I love, and not being able to see the people that we do love, and all of those things kind of really play at us. So I love the idea of reframing things, staycation, being home, and using this time to really feel good within ourselves and be able to maybe do some productive self-care and self-love. on ourselves, in our mind, in our thinking, in our spirituality, and of course physically in our own bodies, because that does affect the way we think, the way we feel, the way we sleep, the way we move, all of that. So I like this slide here, some top signs that we might be suffering from a buildup of toxicity. And, you know, granted, we all live in the same bubble that we're all exposed to impurities and toxicities from many sources. You know, so when we do have these buildups, and coming out of winter is you know, that time where typically our whole system is a little bit slower. So spring kind of is a great opportunity to do sort of that clearing, sort of getting the bed sheets out and shaking out the blankets and such, the same thing as our internal selves. So things like sugar cravings, as we're reading here, lower energy, you know, that's so common. Gas or bloating, our digestive systems really can become sluggish and disturbed feeling. Maybe we're grabbing for that extra coffee more often than we'd like to, even though it tastes delicious. But you know, it's really not that beneficial if you're relying on that energy perk, sort of with the other side effects that too much coffee can bring along. It creates a little too much acidity in the body. You know, binge eating or drinking, if you might be feeling like, oh, the cravings are getting out of control. And of course, mood swings are going to happen with all of that too. So a little brain fog, oh, I'm not thinking as clearly, kind of like things are, you know, we might not be having that memory recall or that brightness and alertness. And fluid retention is a big one too. You know, when things aren't moving, our bodies will store fluid, it becomes more inflamed. We start not feeling as good. A lot of times then a few extra pounds and inches start gathering around, especially in places where we might not really feel comfortable. And a sign of inflammation, toxicity, can also, you know, relate into discomfort like migraines, headaches, menstrual issues for ladies as well, hormone imbalances altogether. There's so many things. Our skin might not feel too great. We might feel a little ashen, or, you know, don't have that nice glow. We might be breaking out a little bit. All different things show up in the body. So spring is a wonderful time to really give yourself a reset. And I like to share sort of some top tips. Many of them we're very familiar with, but a cleaning, like a spring cleaning, is really gets into cleansing the blood. So helping the body get rid of these impurities and toxins and inflammation that can cause and sort of run into health issues that we don't want to have, right? So it's being proactive with helping our bodies really work and function as they've been designed. But we're really inundated with so much more of these impurities in our day-to-day life and our food. So boosting your immune system, fabulous when you're giving your body this chance to do a reset, a detox, a cleansing, however you want to call it. It's really supporting your body. So it's clearing out the junk. It supports your digestive system, that you're being able to absorb your foods, your good, healthy foods that you're choosing, and getting those nutrients into the cell. And then that then strengthens it to be able to get rid of these impurities out of the body. So, of course, it manages stress. You're going to start feeling better. When your digestive system isn't working really well, it's a direct connection to your brain. So a lot of those happy hormones aren't functioning and firing quite as well too. And stress is a big thing. So, you know, our stress levels go up, that balancing in the hormones and all our various processes get really disturbed and kind of not functioning optimally. So cleansing and detoxing also helps with combating free radicals that create damage, that damage the cell walls. And what we want to really focus on is the trillion beautiful cells in our body that keep regenerating and duplicating and such. We want to focus on cleaning them up, getting rid of the junk so they can duplicate healthy new cells. And that takes time. So it's not just a one shot, oh, yep, I did a 2-day cleanse, or, oh yeah, I did one of those 7-day things a few years back, I'm good. We are continually regenerating our bodies on a day-to-day basis, on a week-to-week, month-to-month. All our body systems have different times where they completely regenerate. So this is beautiful to do regularly as well, to support all your organs and combat all these free radicals and damage. Flood it with great nutrition and antioxidants to really help build a stronger system, stronger cells, a stronger immune system. And then, of course, choosing beautiful botanicals that support and protect our liver in particular, where things really filter through. And when all this is said and done and we're doing these, the great side benefit is our metabolism starts working better. We get actually burning fat a little better. So weight loss is just one of those beautiful side effects. So where can we start? Joanne, I'm not sure if you've got your next slide there. Yeah. So beautiful botanicals like aloe vera. The inner leaf of the aloe vera is such a beautiful, oh, sorry, yeah, food that helps the digestive system and really supports. Peppermint, beautiful as well, really soothing. I like aloe vera in particular because you know how you put it on your skin on the outside if you have a burn or an injury, and it helps heal. Well, it's very much the same on the inside in our digestive system. We've got, I don't want to get too technical, but sometimes it's really cool to learn little things. The inside of your digestive system is all made up of skin cells as well, and they can become damaged when we have things, you know, all these toxins or food sensitivities or low good bacteria. If we've been exposed to, you know, a lot of medications, antibiotics, those kind of things, they can wear and tear on the little microvilli, which are tinier than the little hairs on the back of your hand, and damage the skin wall of our digestive system. And this is beautiful to heal that. So we're absorbing our foods better. Our digestive system feels better. Other things like turmeric and beautiful botanicals like milk thistle and yellow dock that protect against damage in our liver and our detoxification organs and all of our blood system and our lymphatic system as well. So beautiful berry blends, high free radical antioxidant protection. We've got peppermint, which is beautiful as well. I love that. Adaptogens, using all these botanicals. Green tea extract is lovely too. And I love being able to, as a nutritionist, I used to make all these different tinctures when I'd, you know, do some group detoxes with people or an individual client, and putting together these lovely plants is beautiful to help the body really rid itself and recalibrate. But what I found is when I partnered up, got introduced to Isogenics, and I saw their Cleanse for Life, they called it. They had all these beautiful botanicals right in an easy, delicious drink. I don't know if anybody else has tried some of these herbs by themselves and how they taste. Oh my gosh. I mean, some people would call me back going, I can't do this, Lisa. I just can't, it won't go down. It won't go down. No matter how good it is for them. And me too, there were some things that I just couldn't get past. Anyway, so this has been a beautiful botanical drink that's been designed to really help clear the junk out of the body, help reduce that inflammation, and really flood your system with high dense nutrients, support the digestive system, tons of B vitamins to support your metabolism, get things working better, help balancing your, the way your system balances its blood sugar. So, and it aids in, fat loss and helps manage weight as well. So Cleanse for Life is one of my favorite products of our company. If there was one of them, this and one more we'll be talking about. If everything else was kind of like, okay, what do you choose to have in your home? Cleanse for Life, because it's so full of nourishment and support. And another couple we'll be speaking about later. So some top tips that you can do now as you're doing just on a day-to-day spring reset is choosing what types of foods that you're going to be incorporating into your body. So we want to look at lots and lots of great high fiber foods, clean fruits and vegetables that really bring nourishment and help move the digestive system as well. They're not heavy saturated fats, so we're really cleaning up and leaning. Light eating lets the body have a lot more energy to do this work of cleansing. So lots of water is another tip. You can add some nice lemon, which is alkalizing to the system as well. That's really great. You can add some nice mint leaves, or you can add a little bit of fruit infusion, anything that helps you get more hydration into your body to move things through. Drinking 2 liters of water a day is ideal. Breathing deeply. Another really great tip is to make sure things are moving through breath, through your lungs. So lots of deep breathing. If you can get outside, nice fresh air, get things moving through our body, and it helps combat that stress and calm you down as well. Movement, if it's inside, outside, just getting that lymphatic system pumping so that we're moving through all these impurities that it's able to escort out through the kidneys, out through our bowels, out through sweating, perspiration, and out through breathing. So these are all our different areas of how we get rid of toxins and impurities. Dry skin brushing is another one that's great. So one of those nice loofah sponge or dry natural bristles, and brushing your skin in these light strokes or circular strokes from the bottom up, all through your arms, your legs, around your tummy. That helps stimulate lymphatic movement. And again, moving these impurities out. And then if you've got one of those lovely little saunas at home, that's a great one too. Or doing some hydrotherapy, some hot showers where you're 2 to 3 minutes having a great hot shower and then 30 seconds nice and cold. And you repeat that a few times. And at nighttime, it's great then to just crawl into bed, and those systems are all being well supported. So those are some nice little tips that you can do through a cleansing process. And utilizing a beautiful product like Cleanse for Life, you can either do full day cleanse days, up to 48 hours, which is like a fast day, really gives the body a chance to not worry about digesting food and really focus on cleaning out these impurities. Or you can do very gentle daily cleansing, which is also very supportive and protective. So with that, I think I'll pass it over. Hopefully that's a little bit of some good information that you can take home and try and practice a little bit every day to help you feel a little better. Happy Easter. I'll pass it over to Jen, and she's going to share some great info and tips too.
Thank you, Lisa. That's amazing. So my name is Jen Thomas, and I've been a certified personal trainer for over 15 years, in private practice for 13 of those years. And I think what I want to talk about today is, I think if I was on Sesame Street, they say, this day is brought to you by the letter, I think 2020 so far is sort of brought to you by the word adapt. So we've all had to adapt to our new environments. And I think from an exercise perspective, there's probably a lot of you that are really, really missing your time at the gym, or fitness classes that you go to, that kind of thing. So I thought I would just sort of break into that and realize that it's such an important thing for you to be doing for yourself. During this staycation, there should be some time for self-care, and it doesn't have to be a really high intensity. I'm going to talk about what you're seeing on the screen right now in a minute, but it's like Lisa said, getting out in for a nice walk in nature. It's just, it brings the anxiety levels down. It brings up those endorphins, those feel-good hormones that go coursing through your body. You sleep better if you move your body. All these things are really, really important. And whatever that self-care or that type of exercise looks like to you, if you're new to exercise, then take it slow and make sure you're warming up before you do any kind of exercise and cooling down and stretching afterwards. So some nice dynamic movements to start. So don't hold a stretch, just start with nice dynamic movement. So the one I've brought up here, which is kind of a fun thing to do, is it's HIIT training. So it's high intensity interval training. So each of those little tulips is a little circuit in itself. So you're going to do the first A exercise for 30 seconds and the B exercise you do for 60. So if you're new to exercise, you're going to be doing, just one time through each tulip. But if you've more, moderate or advanced, go through 2 or 3 times each one. And if you do all of them together, it's about 20 minutes if you do it 3 times. But make sure you break between tulips, get some water, rehydrate, and sort of fill your tank as you go. So, and if you're doing something that's a little more high intensity, that's where I wanted to talk about ways to really support your system. So one of the products that I absolutely love, it's called Amped Power. And it's a pre-workout drink that's designed to prepare your body for more strength, more power, more endurance. There's creatine in there that helps improve your performance and reduces your fatigue. There's creatine, beta-alanine. There's also something in the Amped Nitro, it's called nitrosigine, and it's actually what they call a vasodilator. So it opens up your blood vessels and allows more oxygen and more blood to flow. So you actually get far more out of your workouts. And so the best time to take this would be about 20 to 30 minutes before you work out. And there's a great little, so the Amped Power doesn't have the caffeine. So if you've already had your coffee in the morning, then you probably want to go with the Amped Nitro, because it has a little bit of caffeine just to, again, offset fatigue, promote focus and endurance. The taurine is another favorite one because it does offset the oxidative stress, which is some of the stuff that Lisa mentioned. So those free radicals that get released, because oxidative stress does happen when you exercise, particularly at a higher level. So having these properties there within this pre-workout drink is just so essential to protect the system. The other one I wanted to talk to sort of during your workout is the Amped Hydrate. So it's a great electrolyte blend. So there's no artificial colors or sweeteners or stimulants, and it's filled with complex B vitamins, vitamin C. There's superfruit electrolyte blends in there, and it's a great exercise partner, but it's also a really great drink just for regular hydration. And as Lisa mentioned, if there's any way to help you sort of drink more water, those 2 liters a day, it's a great little additive to put in your water, and it just makes water taste great, and it promotes you to drink a little bit more of that. But it's also a really great thing for kids. So I don't know, when my kids were growing up playing soccer, I mean, I wish I'd had Hydrate back then, because it was all, the Gatorades and things like that. But this is just an all natural, no artificial stimulants, sweeteners. It's a really natural alternative, and it tastes fantastic. So that's yes, it's great for during your workout, but it's also good anytime. And then the last one I wanted to talk about was this one, which is the Amped Recover. They call it Repair Now. And it's just a powerhouse of cutting edge ingredients. They alleviate soreness after workouts, increases total body recovery, includes phytonutrients, functional ingredients like tart cherry, turmeric, collagen, and it's all great for reducing exercise-induced soreness and that inflammation that can happen. And again, it tastes wonderful, and it's so 20 to 30 minutes after you've finished your workout is sort of that prime optimal time to get it in there. and it's going to shorten that recovery time, and it's going to help you experience results faster as well, and helping some of because when you exercise, you're actually creating a little bit of damage, little micro tears in the muscle. So what happens is this beautiful product, it's all natural, allows some of that healing to happen at a faster rate. So the muscle builds quicker and more naturally. So it's, again, just such powerful nutrients, and they're all natural, which is something that's really, really important to me. So yeah, so I guess just to reiterate, for me, whatever exercise looks like to you in this new adaptive world, I would just say try to get something in, because I think a lot of us have, during this staycation, have almost become immobilized to some degree. And I think it's really, really important to get out there and move your body. Like I said, for better sleep, for better metabolisms of fat, for what Lisa talked about, getting rid of some of those toxins through sweat, through getting it through the muscle. It's just so key. And anyway, so with that, if you have any questions about any of the HIIT training, any of those exercises, please ask it at the end of the end of this presentation, or you can also send us a message through the event, and I'm happy to answer any of that. But without further ado, I'd like to pass it along to my colleague and friend and also exercise enthusiast, Cheryl.
Thanks, Jen. I guess I'm the lucky one. I get to speak about one of our absolute favorite beverages, coffee. And I don't mind myself to pour one. Cheers. Believe it or not, there are such things as healthy coffee, and we're very fortunate at Isogenics to have one of those. And the reason why it is healthy is because it's a fairly traded blend of 100% Arabica coffee beans grown at high altitudes. Our beans are selected by a licensed coffee grader, slow roasted in small batches, never touched by human hands, and it's expertly blended by a certified roast master. The beans are finished using a cool grind technology to preserve and ensure the freshness, to ensure the purity, and it's free from harmful contaminants. Sorry about that. The other great thing is that it's organic, although we do have a premium blend that is not organic but follows all the standards, whereas our organic one goes through another process of certification. It is infused with green tea extract. It's infused with medium chain triglycerides, MCT oils. And what those do is they offset the acidity in the coffee, because coffee typically is very high in acid, which often people will have a difficult time to digest coffee. So that's why often people, when they try the Isogenics coffee, don't have the same issues in digesting. It tastes great, it's smooth, it has a nutty flavor, it's made with love, and it is a great beverage to add to your day. And because it's so clean of the impurities, where they testify for herbicides, pesticides, and harsh metals, it's okay to enjoy a cup or two a day. So enjoy. Now, some of the other things that you can do with our coffee, you don't have to just drink it straight black in a cup like this. You can add different things to spice it up. You can do mixing it up with some of our protein to make like a smoothie, a mocha smoothie, which tastes great. You can do that with either a vanilla or a chocolate protein. You can mix it up with some fruit, do it with ice, and make a frozen drink. You can make frozen iced coffees for a fraction of the price that you would pay from some of those high cost coffee shops. But this again is much healthier than the typical ones that you're buying out in those, I don't want to mention any names, but you all know who I'm talking about. And it's not going to cost you $5.50 for a coffee. You can mix it with some of the other products that we have, such as our immune booster, which is all has 3 different types of mushrooms that help build the immune system. And so that is a huge thing that people are looking to today, is to boost their immune system. And you can add that into a scoop of that into your coffee. You can also do a nice coffee with our adaptogenic Ionic Supreme that has the adaptogenic herbs that helps your body buffer stress, and that makes a great drink as well. So be creative, try any way that you can to enjoy your cup of coffee, but also to add those extra healthy benefits, and enjoy, drink up. I'll now pass this over to Lori.
Lori, you have to unmute yourself, my dear.
Sorry, my screen froze, so I was wondering if I was meant to unmute or not. Apologies for that. I guess the constant Zoom lines. And thanks for all the information, everyone. I know that my coffee is like, I love coffee. When I first came into Isogenics, I gave it up because I was drinking the very acidic coffee. And back in 2007, Isogenics didn't have the coffee they have now. And I was definitely feeling the effects of drinking too much coffee during the day. So when our Isogenics coffee came out, it was a godsend. And I've used it in all ways, except for adding in the flavorless immune boost. And what's great is you can add it in and it is flavorless, so your coffee still tastes like the coffee you love. So one of the things that has become so prevalent and we are all globally viscerally aware of is it doesn't matter about anything when your health becomes compromised. All the other things that we have been conditioned to value are meaningless. So health and our immune system become our most priceless asset right now. And that's one of the reasons why all of us love educating on different products that the Isogenics grocery store has, because when you can really take your power back to create that wealth, that priceless wealth in your health, then everything else becomes possible. And, you know, the story's been told many times where if you have $1 billion, but you can't get out of bed because you feel so crappy, then the money is useless. If you have global friendships, but you feel so crappy that you can't get in a vehicle to get you to visit those people, then it's not the same. So health is critical, and things that affect our immune system in week 2, 3, 4, 5 of whatever this staycation is that we've maybe not been mindful for are things like stress around telework, the adaptation to working from home. If we are too many hours on screen time, whether it's for work or whether it's video gaming or just being on the screen, so many hours, it does impact and affect our immune health. Even if it's things like telework, it will be affecting you. And even more so now because of the added stress of what's going on in the environment. What we put in our bodies nutritionally, the food we eat has a direct impact on the quality. And, you know, I love Dr. Michael Colgan, who is one of our formulators of some amazing brain nourishment. And he said, if I put garbage into my cells, meaning empty calorie foods, like what you see in the photo here of, you know, burgers and French fries and greasy fatty foods, then that is what my cells have to work with to build the strength of my cells. Well, if there's nothing there, then the quality of my cells are going to be as crappy as the food I put in. So knowing that we have the ability to put those missing pieces of the puzzle together is so beautiful with Isogenics to help manage that reality that our food supply, even if we're eating healthy, even if we're choosing organic and fresh fruits and vegetables, we can't get the minerals and the vitamins that we used to get just because our soil is depleted. And so that does trash our immune system. And then of course, unhealthy, acidic filled coffee, alcoholic beverages, sugary drinks, anything sugary, those directly impact our immune system. They actually hit and knock us over. And so our immune system has to work that much harder to stand back up again. So if you look at, you know, ask yourself, where in those areas are you impacting your health, your immune system? Because we've now also got this added staycation. And if you haven't figured out already to turn off the news, I will highly encourage you to give yourself the greatest gift over this coming long weekend and turn off the news. We all know that we need to stay home. That is all we need to know. And I guarantee and I promise that when there is the news that you don't need to stay home, you're not going to need to watch the news constantly to find out. You will find out. So stay off the news. Don't watch the news. Don't check in. Don't. Just use this weekend to connect within and to connect to your family and your friends, those close relationships. As Joanne mentioned at the beginning, she's setting up a Zoom with her family. My family lives all over the world. None of us will be physically together on the long weekend, but we are setting up to be connected through Zoom as well, so that we can all celebrate and connect. So we do what we can right now, but please stay off your devices as long as you can on this coming long weekend, and stay off the news. And do that detox that both Lisa and Joanne mentioned, because that definitely impacts your immune system. Now, what else can you do? Well, Isagenix has this amazing product that some of us call liquid gold. And it's one of those things where if I could say to you that you could take an ounce of a drink and within 5 seconds feel calm. And if you think of the big pharma medications out there, most of them take hours, days, and weeks to take effect, to feel that calmness. But what the brilliance of John Anderson, the formulator of Ionic Supreme and many of our Isagenix core products did, is he combined botanicals and herbs that work synergistically in the right combination. So the efficacy of consistency is there. And when they are put together, the combined effect is not just a physical calming of tension in your stomach or in your shoulders, but also a mental calming in your brain. And when you can calm your brain down, which occurs in the gut and in the brain, then it allows you, think about it, if you're feeling stress, and you're trying to think clearly and make a decision, if you're under stress, it's really hard to make intelligent decisions. It's really hard to concentrate. It's really hard to have compassionate bandwidth for the family that you're living with and what they're going through when you're not able to keep yourself calm. So adding this in is so critical. And so you can see here, wolfberry, rhodiola, schizandra, ashwagandha, bacopa, eleuthero, those are all things, and shilajit, which isn't on there, but if you look in the marketplace right now, shilajit is the botanical of the day. People are finally waking up to the power of shilajit. Well, when you put all those together, they calm the body. But the other piece that is in Ionic Supreme that is so critical, and you're seeing it in the news, is B vitamins. Massive, massive, massive quality B vitamins that are highly absorbable, especially when you can order the Ionics in liquid or powder, but when you have the liquid, it's ready to go. You just take it out of the fridge. I just chug it straight out of the bottle because I know that's about an ounce, but you can actually measure it as well. And when your body is under stress, it burns, yes, I do, it burns the B vitamins up. So you can actually burn through your entire B vitamin store in an hour if you are under extreme stress. Now, the majority of the population are already below an optimal amount of B vitamins in their body. That is why, and Lisa talked about this earlier, we have chronic fatigue in our society. We have chronic low energy, chronic malaise, chronic lack of motivation, chronic functional burnout. A big part of that is that our body doesn't have the minerals, the building blocks to fix that. But another big part of it is that our B vitamin stores, which fix all those things very, very efficiently, are generally too low. And so we have to supplement. And so what's nice with Isagenix, what is priceless about Isagenix, is you can have an ounce, and if you're under massive stress in your life and an hour later you're feeling like you're just like losing it again, you can have another ounce. And you can do that all day long. The recommended amount is 1 to 2 ounces a day. I've always taken 2, but normally when there's a lot of stress in my life, I'll have 3 to 6 ounces and spread them out during the day as needed, because my body is burning through all of it. So therefore I can replenish, and then boom, I get the energy back and the calm. So it's this calm energy. state that you have the ability for pennies a day to gift yourself. And as we head into this long weekend, it is an opportunity to do the inner work. This staycation has many agendas, but one of the biggest ones is, and this is what I want to leave you with before I pass it back to Joanne for the Q&A. All of us have been given a once in a lifetime opportunity to, and I'm going to be really direct and blunt, sit back, get still, and figure our shit out. Because most of the time, the busyness of life doesn't allow us this expansive amount of time to really do a life review and look at the areas of our lives that maybe are a little bit out of balance. And we now have this gift of time, all of us, because the world is on pause. So you're not missing out on anything if you take this time to slow down, to get very still and quiet, at least bookending your day that way. If you can't do it any more than that because of your current reality, I would urge you to bookend your day in the morning. When you wake up, just pause and do your meditation in stillness. Design your day. Imagine what you want your best life to feel like, and don't get out of bed until you can feel that juicy excitement in your heart, as if you were probably on your first day of a vacation, where you get to the vacation and the next morning you wake up and there's that juicy joy knowing that you're on vacation. That is what that feeling is you want before you get out of bed in the morning. Just make that commitment. And then at the end of the day, before you close your eyes and go to sleep, don't do that until you've consciously, either I choose to write it down, but you can think it as well. Find the gratitude. Where were the moments in the day? So your day, our brains will pick the one thing that was the most negative and stick on that, because that's how we've been conditioned. But what we want to do by flipping that at night at bedtime, by going into 3 gratitudes, is focusing on all the wins. Because every single day when you do this process, even the most tragic feeling, worst day of all, and I've had those kinds of days where at the end of the day, I go into that gratitude piece and I can go to sleep with a calm heart and a peaceful heart, knowing that tomorrow I get to start all over again. I get to begin again, and I can leave the worries of the day behind because I found that gratitude piece. And so Ionix is a fantastic tool, as are the other products we've talked about. But we have a gift coming up this weekend for us to connect in a way that normal long weekends of Easter, Passover don't offer us, because we're all so busy running around to do all the Eastery or the Passover-y things that are expected of us. We don't have to do that. Like, none of that stuff's happening. Who's doing Easter egg hunts? Unless you're blessed to have all your kids at home for this staycation. Sadly, it's the virtual Easter egg hunt. So we have an opportunity. So I would like to invite everyone to take that time and give yourself the gift of reflection. And back to you now, Joanne.
Wowza. Okay, so all I can say is I'm just so honored to work with all of you beautiful, amazing women, because you're all so gifted with your information. And I'm just going to say it, like, we rock. We really have such a great flow, and we're looking forward to doing so many more of these calls. I think we love it just as much for ourselves to do it as we do to hopefully get that other people are benefiting from this. Everyone's points were so good. And yeah, Lori, I just have to reiterate what you said about the world being on pause, and there's no FOMO here, because there's nothing to miss out on. We're all doing the exact same thing. So just staying focused, staying positive. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, and you want to put it in the chat, or you want to unmute and shout out anything, kudos, carrots, criticisms, whatever comments, we'll love it all. I just want to add in that one of the things I do in the morning is, it's called 432 Heart Chakra Meditation, and it's on YouTube. You can search it, and you can do a 2-hour version, or you can do a 30-minute version, or whatever. The YouTube, as Pluto the dog, who I'm loving these days, the socials. There's so much on the socials right now that we can access that we may not have tapped into before. So yeah, take advantage of that. So unless there's any other comments, which it looks like they're not, there's so many chats. Oh yeah, Lori says she loves that one too. Then we will say goodbye for today, and thank you so much for being with us. This is recorded, so we will be sending that out, and if you're on, you can share it at live or recording, you can share it forward. That would be wonderful, and we look forward to seeing you next week. We haven't picked our topic yet, but I know we'll come up with some other great stuff, and we'll see you then. Have a very blessed long weekend, and enjoy, everyone.